Here's your news for February 23rd, 2020. We're kicking off today with some huge news from WrestleMania, as it seems Drew McIntyre's moment in the spotlight will finally come on April 5th. After outlasting 29 other superstars to win the men's 2020 Royal Rumble, McIntyre will face WWE Champion Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and according to Wrestling News, things are looking good for the Scotsman. They said, "A WWE source told me the plan is for Drew McIntyre to win the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar. If true, this will be McIntyre's first World Championship reign in WWE, and the Scotsman himself has said that his fans will riot in Tampa if he doesn't take the gold from the Beast incarnate. WWE won't have to worry about an angry crowd if McIntyre is scheduled to defeat Lesnar, and that same report from Wrestling News also outlined what the future might hold for Drew. They said, "There are already plans in place for McIntyre's post-Mania feuds, and Seth Rollins is one of the names planned for the summer. As the Monday Night Messiah, Rollins is a main event heel presence on Raw, and it looks like he'll stay there until the summer when he challenges the new WWE Champion." More Mania news now, as though several matches are yet to be announced, the card for the show has reportedly already been leaked. As we noted previously, Triple H, Ronda Rousey, and Goldberg aren't scheduled to appear. Now, the blockbuster news that is coming out is Vince McMahon wants Goldberg to be a part of WrestleMania, and he wants the WCW megastar to become the Universal Champion at Super Showdown. As noted by Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, every match on the SmackDown side has changed or is in danger of changing. The changes include the match between the current Universal Champion Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns, which could end up being Goldberg as champion defending against Reigns in a spear versus spear match. Guys, how do you feel about Goldberg being a part of WrestleMania? Please share your comments below. Also, Meltzer noted that John Cena versus Elias is no longer happening. WrestleVotes reported last week that new matches that were being considered were Reigns versus Goldberg and Cena versus Wyatt. That appears to be what is happening, and if plans don't change in the next few days, then it looks like Goldberg will be winning the Universal Championship on Thursday at Super Showdown. Another planned match that has been scrapped is Naomi challenging Bayley for the Women's Championship. That match was scheduled for WrestleMania, but will now take place on Thursday at Super Showdown. Some matches for WrestleMania have already been confirmed, such as McIntyre vs. Lesnar, and NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley taking on Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch defend her Raw Women's title against Shayna Baszler, as well as the Women's Tag Team Champions the Kabuki Warriors defending against some yet-to-be-determined opponents, possibly Bliss and Cross. There'll be plenty of non-title action as well. According to the rumored card, Edge will face Randy Orton, AJ Styles will face The Undertaker, and there will also be the men's and women's WrestleMania Battle Royals. The report also states that there will at least be one more women's match, likely to include Lacey Evans, as there's a chance that the sassy Southern Belle could face the returning Sasha Banks. There is also the possibility of adding matches for the Raw and SmackDown tag titles, as well as the Intercontinental or US titles, but for now, fans will have to wait and see which matches are confirmed for the biggest show of the year. One woman who's looking to make history at WrestleMania is NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley, who will defend her title against Charlotte Flair. After retaining the title at NXT TakeOver Portland, Ripley was attacked by the Queen, who also attacked Bianca Belair, who had come up short against the Australian superstar, leading to speculation of the WrestleMania match becoming a triple threat. Also, Belair vs. Charlotte has been booked for next week's NXT, marking the first time that Charlotte has wrestled in the Gold brand in over 4 years. Also this week, Charlotte sent out a congratulatory tweet to the Bella twins following the announcement of their imminent Hall of Fame induction, and the Queen said that she's been able to share the ring with both of them, something she's very proud of. Nikki and Brie will join the NWO and Batista, who are set to be inducted during WrestleMania weekend, and while JBL, Jushin Thunder Liger, and the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith are also reported, they haven't been confirmed by WWE. On to some business news now, as WWE stock plummeted recently following the dismissal of the company's co-presidents, though the stock has improved in recent days. During the 2019 Q4 investors call, Vince McMahon hinted that the company was talking to some big-time players about selling streaming rights to their big pay-per-view events, and it was reported that a deal was so close that it'd be announced very soon. This week, Dave Meltzer reported that WWE had been talking with ESPN about selling their content to ESPN+. And since WWE stock increased by over $2.50 after the story broke, the Wrestling Observer veteran hasn't been shy about taking credit for this. Online, Meltzer claimed that the share increase was directly because of his report, claiming that he personally made the company a total of $194 million in one day. While Meltzer may be happy to put over this accomplishment, some people aren't buying that this increase was due to Dave, as a ringside news source on Wall Street said, "Some idiot writing out of a garage isn't influencing the market. And while this isn't the nicest way to describe someone who writes about wrestling, the fact is that WWE stock was gradually going to drift back up after it had plummeted, because that's how the market works, but time will tell just how far it goes up before it settles. If and or when a streaming deal is actually announced, then we'll see just how much the deal affects the market. And whilst Meltzer may not enjoy being called an idiot writing out of a garage, he'll probably still give that insult 6 stars out of 5. On to SmackDown news now, as after the show ended and 205 Live finished, the fans in Arizona got another match before they headed home. Once again, Roman Reigns faced King Corbin ahead of their steel cage match at Super Showdown on February 27th, though this week's contest didn't have any steel confining the two opponents. In the end, Reigns won the match with a spear, and it was interesting to see the big dog in the dark match, as he didn't appear at all during the Blue Brand's 2-hour broadcast. He will likely be on next week's show so he can talk about how his cage match went in Saudi Arabia, and this should be the last match in the lengthy Corbin-Reigns feud, as Michael Cole flat out said that the Super Showdown match will see Roman and Corbin face off, quote, "for the last time." The feud between the two has been going on for months, and though many assumed that the big dog would be done with Corbin once the 2019 King of the Ring winner was forced to eat dog food, it looks like there's still one more story left to tell. We'll have to see whether WWE actually end the Roman-Corbin feud at Super Showdown, and while it would make sense, given that Reigns is expected to face The Fiend at WrestleMania 36, you can never say never when it comes to WWE. While Roman wasn't on the broadcast for this week's SmackDown, the show did see the return of Goldberg and a #1 contenders match between Carmella and Naomi, which led to a slight increase in viewers. Showbuzz Daily reports that the overnight viewership for SmackDown was 2.49 million viewers for the 2-hour broadcast, and breaking that number down, they had 2.54 million in the first hour and 2.43 million in the second. This was slightly higher than last week, which averaged 2.46 million over the 2 hours, and there was similar success in the coveted 18 to 49 demographic, as this week's show saw a 0.7 rating, which is the same as last week. Given that the show saw a return of a WWE Hall of Famer, as well as the announcement that the Bella Twins will be joining Goldberg in the illustrious group, it's not surprising that the show saw an increase. But the real question now is, will they be able to keep this momentum going next week after Super Showdown? More news from WWE's relationship with Fox now, as WWE Backstage airs on FS1 at 11 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday, and has done pretty well for the past few weeks. Recently, the show has maintained a consistent viewing figure over 100,000, and hopefully next week's guests will help to bring the ratings in as well. It was revealed on SmackDown this week that the Bella Twins and Daniel Bryan will be on next week's edition of Backstage, and given that Brie and Nikki are set to be inducted into the Hall of Fame during WrestleMania weekend, the two, as well as Brie's husband Daniel, will have plenty to talk about. One superstar who didn't have such a good time during this week's SmackDown was Shinsuke Nakamura, as the former Intercontinental Champion took a nasty bump during the Symphony of Destruction match that caused the back of his head to be busted open. After the show, the King of Strong Style sent out a post on social media and spoke about the spot where he was slammed onto a piano by Braun Strowman. He said, "Don't worry, I'm a tough, but the piano was toughest. Adam Scherr and I couldn't beat it." The company also sent out an update to let everyone know it took 9 stitches to close up the gash in the back of his head. Nakamura seems focused on recapturing the Intercontinental Championship from the Monster Among Men, but he may have some competition in the race to the gold, as Sheamus seems pretty determined on winning the belt as well. Regardless, fans can expect Strowman to take on all comers, as the monster among men has no plans on losing his title anytime soon. Speaking of Braun Strowman, his 2019 Crown Jewel opponent Tyson Fury defeated Deontay Wilder last night. It was an impressive fight. Braun Strowman commented before the fight, he also knows what it's like to share a ring with Tyson Fury. Following the Gypsy King's victory, the Monster Among IC champions tweeted out a little challenge for the undefeated boxer. The rumor was that WWE was waiting to see how Fury's fight with Deontay Wilder turned out before any WrestleMania plans were made. After last night's performance from Wilder, it's likely that WWE might want him at the show of shows. Stay tuned. From one Intercontinental Champion to another now, as Jeff Hardy injured his knee on April 20th last year, and since being out of action, the charismatic Enigma has been dealing with some personal issues. It looks like Jeff's return may be coming soon though, as PW Insider reports that Hardy was backstage at this week's SmackDown, but no other information was given. We'll have to see when Hardy is able to come back, as he still has a court date coming up to deal with his DUI charge that he picked up in October last year. As for Jeff's brother Matt, the Woken One is still expected to leave the company on March 1st when his contract reportedly expires, though Jeff's deal is still frozen until he can make a return. Will WWE treat him in the same way as they did with his brother Matt, who's been mostly used as enhancement talent and Randy Orton's punching bag? Only time will tell. Over to NXT now, and Matt Riddle has never been shy about laying down challenges to some of WWE's biggest stars, and one man who knows this all too well is Goldberg. It's been said that Riddle sees Goldberg as someone who's just in the business for the money, and the fact that Goldberg played an unstoppable MMA-esque gimmick in WCW also didn't sit well with the King of Bros. While speaking to the Total Slam podcast, the former Universal Champion gave his own views on the NXT Tag Team Champion, saying, "Riddle is like a booger stuck in your nose. He's annoying and won't go away. He has no influence on Goldberg's life. Period. End of story. It's the wrestling business, and sometimes when you're out in public, you may run into a former foe, and you can never know how the situation will turn out. It is what it is, and we don't see eye to eye." We'll have to see what kind of big matches Riddle finds himself in as his career continues in WWE, but it looks like the Goldberg match won't be happening, as the former Universal Champion doesn't seem interested in the King of Bros. And finally today, we're ending with some great news, as WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Kairi Sane surprised fans when she announced that she got married this week. It's certainly great news for the Kabuki Warrior, though nobody really expected it, and Sane sent out this message on Twitter, which has been translated from Japanese. She said, "I'm looking forward to building a family filled with laughters and joy, with a man I can respect so deeply from his attitude towards work, warm towards people and animals, and his genuine way of living. I will continue working hard to become a pro wrestler that can bring much happiness and smile to people." WWE reacted to the happy news with a congratulatory post of their own, but some news sites didn't do the right amount of research. Plenty of news sites said that Sane married New Japan star Evil, but that isn't the case, as Io Shirai is engaged to Evil, not Sane. Whilst Shirai and Evil could be getting married soon, we don't know when, but what we do know is that Shirai has been out of action for a couple of months now after tweaking her knee. Although Sane is now married, her husband's identity has not been publicly revealed, but we know for a fact she isn't romantically linked to Evil. As one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions with Asuka, the pair have certainly been kept busy lately, so we can only hope that the WWE has plans for them at WrestleMania 36. Finally, we have some news on a WWE legend now, as WWE made a hell of a lot of money off of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Some of those t-shirts don't work too well with the current PG product. The Rattlesnake once rocked a t-shirt that said "Fuck Fear" on the front of it. "Drink Beer" was on the back. This happened to be the t-shirt that Austin was wearing when he got an F5 from Brock Lesnar in 2004. WWE Network released a clip of this altercation between Lesnar and Austin. The "Fuck Fear, Drink Beer" shirt must be too hot for WWE's social media nowadays. WWE decided to blur out the entire shirt like it was the old WWF Attitude logo. When Austin saw this, he wasn't very happy.